Welcome. We're going to transition to our next session with Ray Paddock and Michelle Pirzadeh. They will be presenting our awardees for our environmental awards today.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Pirzadeh. I'm the Deputy Regional Administrator for EPA Region 10, and I'm based in our Seattle office. And I'm really pleased to be joining you all here today. I know we'd rather all be in person, but I'm really grateful that we're able to engage virtually, and I'm really appreciative and impressed by all of the hard work of the Tribal Environmental Leadership Summit Committee to make this a successful event. This is quite a feat to pull this off, especially for something that's going on for over 3 days. So thank you for that. So I'm really pleased to be here today to, with my RTOC co-chair, Ray Paddock, to announce the Tribal Environmental Excellence Awards. And before we do that, I just wanted to give a little bit of background on the awards. These are excellence awards to recognize the hard work performed every day to preserve our environment now and for future generations. And this year, for 2020, we have 2 categories of the awards. We have a Tribal Leaders Adults Award that's for current contributions or previous contributions dedicated to the amount of time and effort in the tribal environmental field that the person has committed. And then the second is the Tribal Youth and Young Adults, and this is for currently attending elementary, junior high, high school, or college, or if not in college, up to age 25. So individuals were nominated for their achievement in one or more of the following focus areas: creative and effective adaptations of existing, new, and emerging technologies or methodologies, environmental management, stewardship, conservation, and/or protection, public involvement and education, and providing opportunities for tribal youth for learning and engagement in the environmental field. The list of nominees was very impressive, and of that impressive list, we have one from each category that we are going to be recognizing as our recipients today. So I'm going to turn this over to Raymond Paddock, who is the co-chair of our Regional Tribal Operations Committee, to announce the award recipients this year. Thank you, and over to you, Ray.
Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate it. Good morning to everyone in Alaska, and good afternoon to everyone in the lower 48. Again, welcome to the Region 10 Tribal Leader Summit. My name is Raymond Paddock. My Tlingit name is Kusatan. My Moeti is Chaak, Eagle. I am of the Kagwantan clan from the Eagle's Nest House in Sitka, Alaska. I'm the environmental coordinator for the Central Council of Tlingit and Haida and Juneau, as well as the RTOC Region 10 Tribal Chair. Again, I'd like to acknowledge the Eklutna and Dena'ina people for hosting us on their land. And with that, we can move into announcing the award winners for the categories. The recipient of the 2020 Tribal Environmental Excellence Award for Tribal Leaders Adults is Dr. Juanita Holton. Juanita has become the first reported Port Gamble S'Klallam tribe member to earn a doctorate degree. She graduated in June 2018 from the School of Education Leadership for Change at Fielding Graduate University. She focused her study around education, specifically the history and culture of tribes in the Pacific Northwest. For her dissertation, she conducted a study of Washington State's since time immemorial curriculum, which through legislation passed in 2015, requires tribal history and sovereignty to be taught to all K-12 students in the state. She hopes her field of research will further help students understand tribes and their place of importance now and throughout history. She focused her teachings on traditional plants, ethical harvesting, protecting the environment, and giving back to Mother Nature. In Juanita's words, she says, "I believe my dissertation will make a contribution to the unprecedented mandate, the inclusion of Native studies in public schools in North America and perhaps the world. What is more, at this time in history, the world needs the harmonizing wisdom that our people are so freely ready to offer." Thank you, Juanita, for those words. Juanita's education includes a bachelor's degree from the Evergreen State College, as well as a master's in education and a Washington State teacher certification from Antioch University. My apologies for mispronouncing that if I did. She decided to go back and pursue her doctorate degree specifically to do her part in helping the since time immemorial curriculum be the best it can be by filling the gaps that exist in public education related to American Indian history and culture. For the last 7 years, Juanita has worked for PGST's Career and Education Department, previously as educational director, and more recently as the education clinic teacher. In Juanita's words, I was told by an elder while I was working to get my bachelor's degree that if I attain a degree, my children will either match my degree or surpass it. I'm hoping this foretelling will come true by my children and perhaps all our community. I lead by example and hope my success will be mirrored by many. She works to preserve our lands for the next 7 generations and gives back in any way she can. She teaches about how to harvest sustainability and about the seasonal rounds. Juanita, we thank you for your service. The work that you've done is greatly impactful to our tribal people. And with that, we'd like to honor you with this award. Randy, Nita? As you guys can see, Randy's holding it up right now on the top left corner of the screen. I'm not sure, it's a plaque of a Tlingit bear, it looks like, with a shield, a copper shield down the chest side. Very beautiful. Thank you, goodness geez. And with that, we'll move on to the next recipient award. And then after that, I'd be happy to have our presenters, our awardees talk a little bit. So the recipient of the 2020 Tribal Environmental Excellence Award for Tribal Youth, Young Adult, is Sam Schimel. The first time the nominator met Sam, she thought she was meeting an elder in a teenager's body, as she states. Sam speaks with wisdom beyond what a person would expect through the Western calculate of years. At an event held at the University of Alaska Anchorage, Sam was serving as Governor Walker's Climate Action Leadership Team as a youth representative. The leadership team's efforts included local and regional programs and projects, state and national policy and programs, and international policy and cooperation. Within this position, Sam was helping to host a Young Leaders Dialogue on climate action in Anchorage, Alaska. This event invited 25 young Alaskans ages 16 to 25 from around the state over the course of a day. Sam helped the participating youth engage in small group discussions and work toward a statement of action that was built from the draft state climate strategy. From then, Sam has gone on to serve as a champion for change and is currently on the Youth Advisory Board for the Center of Native American Youth. The Center of Native American Youth is a national advocacy organization working to improve the health, safety, and overall well-being of Native American youth ages 24 and under. In the past several years, Sam has also advocated for Alaska Native youth as a youth delegate to the Tribal Nations Conference, a youth representative at the Alaska Federation of Natives Conference, and he interned for Alaska's congressional delegation in Washington, D.C. Growing up, Sam split part of his time in Washington, where his mother was receiving her education, and part of his time back in Alaska hunting. In Washington, his family showed perseverance through incredible racism and discrimination in the school. While his family understands the effects of intergenerational trauma acutely, Sam always is looking to care and provide for others. For example, he called up the nominator recently to tell her that he was going hunting, to just ask if her mother would want some moose meat or moose liver, all while he is going to school remotely during the pandemic. Sam Schimel is an incredible young person that has drawn strength from the challenges he has faced. He has demonstrated exceptional leadership in tribal environmental youth activism and continues to fight for building tribal sovereignty and indigenous food security. Sam, we at the RTOC appreciate the work that you've done as a young leader and the strides that you're going forward to take tribal people in this field of work. And with that, we'd like to honor you with this blanket, as you see the one Randy holding up. With that, we'd like to see if the awardees would like to say something really quick. Juanita?
Yes, I'd love to say something. Thank you all so much for this award. I'm so honored. I was surprised when I got the word that I was nominated, and I want to thank the nominator and the committee for selecting me. And I'm just so impressed by the young Schimel boy. Wow, that's just amazing. Congratulations to him, and I look forward to seeing what he has to do in the future for sure. And I just want to thank you all, and thank you for all the work that you guys do for our region, and keep up the good work. And I look forward to hearing about more things that your organization is doing. And I just want to say thank you. Hotnitson.
Thank you, Juanita. Sam?
Hello, everybody. Juanita, Raymond, thank you for those kind words, and Maka as well. I'm sitting here thinking about my elders. I can't see if there's more than about the dozen of you guys on the screen in front of me, but I hope that one of my aunties, Marianne Mills, is listening. And I want to say thank you to her for her mentorship and leadership that she's given me, as well as my other relatives, people like Wayne Wilson and Apuski, one of my great uncles. As I've grown up, we've always been engaged in subsistence, always been engaged in fishing or hunting or collecting to eat. And it wasn't always that you only needed the food, it was that you also needed the cultural connection. And right now you're watching as climate change is irreparably changing the way in which we can practice our culture. Part of my family comes from Gamble, a small island out in the middle of the Bering Sea, where it is a subsistence culture where everybody hunts to eat. And we rely on the sea ice. We're sea ice people. We rely on the sea ice to bring us food. We hunt our whales. We hunt our seals. It's something that protects us from the ocean. And you're watching that disappear. And with that, you're watching cultural erosion happen before your eyes. The knowledges that some of my great aunts hold are the last ones in our community to hold them. And so I hope that we can all work together to make sure that our knowledge that we hold, I look around and I listened to Juanita before coming on here. We had a brief conversation about some of her work. I'm so thankful for people like her and our elders who teach, that they give out that knowledge that's been built up over thousands of years, so that way we can have a better future. So thank you all.
Thank you, guys. Very honored to be up here to present you guys with these gifts. It makes me happy in my heart to know that we have great people like Juanita already doing the work that she does, and up-and-comers like Sam getting ready to take the mantle to provide the work that is so important for us as tribal people. Congratulations again to this year's award recipients, Dr. Juanita Holton and Sam Schimel. You're supported by this community as we recognize your contributions to all our relations. Thank you all again for allowing me the honor to present these awards in celebration of this great accomplishment, and enjoy the remainder of the summit. Take care. Gunesh Chish.
Thank you.
Sheesh,
Thank
Raymond.
you.
I wanted to introduce the awards real quick. We have the Copper Bear Tana plaque, and this is actually red cedar adzed. And the traditional adze is what we use to carve. And there's a nice tie-in because pre-contact they were actually made with beaver teeth to help carve out the wood. So the Copper Bear is made by Ray Peck, and it was purchased through Planet Alaska, which is an Alaska Native-owned company. And then we also have the Turtle Wool Blanket, which is the other award that will be awarded to Sam. And this is a design collaboration with American Indian Graduate Center. And actually, Maka Montour is the designer of the turtle. Maka, can you turn around, please? So this will be presented and sent to our awardees. Ganesh for being with us today, and I hope you have a wonderful day. We're going to be transitioning over to Todd Mitchell, Dan Dean Jr., and Jen Willop, and they'll actually be presenting on the Camas project. And as a plant lady, this is one of the presentations I've been looking forward to amongst all of our great speakers. But I hope you have a wonderful presentation. Thank you, Sam and Juanita.